CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs, 850-785-5254.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got in the bag.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Thursday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Along the beautiful Forgotten Coast, you can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, follow. That is Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search it up, ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, I know you had some business to take care of yesterday, so I had to answer the question myself, but where do you find that free mobile app?
Google Play or Apple Store.
What do you got to search up?
You got to search up 104.3, and that'll take you right to it.
Well, you got to finish the ESPN Northwest Florida, but yeah. If you,
104.3 doesn't take you straight to it?
It might.
I think it does. I think it does. All you got to do.
All this time I've been asking you this question. You finally bring this to light for me?
Yes, I do.
I appreciate it.
And I'm going to...
While he's searching that up, you can also follow our TikTok page. That's inside.drive. Last but not least, you go to ESPNPC.com. Check out all the awesome things we've got coming up. You can also check out the KHS TV button on there. It's $40 a month for pretty much every channel and everything you could possibly want to watch. Just head over to ESPNPC.com. Check that out.
When you search it up, 104.3, it's about 6 down on your search list.
Nice. So it's in the top 10 search.
Yep.
And that's 104.3.
That's all you got to put in.
Dang. And then you got to swipe a couple times up.
Yeah. No.
It fits in the...
It's right there.
Dang.
I'm looking right at it.
Man, that makes it even easier to find.
I know. It's crazy.
We've been doing this for a long time now, and...
You don't even have to put in letters. You just put in numbers.
104.3.
Yep.
Boom. Shows up. 6th on the list. You don't even have to find another page.
That's it.
Good stuff, Jay. Good stuff. Practice going well?
It's going well.
Excellent. Excellent. How many got on the old team ski?
14.
14
boys.
That's good. How many girls?
I've got about 7.
Wow.
It was interesting.
21 total high schoolers you're in charge of.
Well, me in charge of them.
Ooh, more vice versa?
Probably. Yeah, I would think so.
How do you keep your sanity?
Man.
That's what I want to know.
And,
where do you get your Valium from?
Oh, God.
And he's good. That's why I wasn't here yesterday. He was taking a little breather.
Yeah.
And starting, in September, you're going to be coaching a, 8th, 9th grade basketball team, too? in Southern Elite?
I will. That's at 7:30 in the evenings. I hope me and you can maybe, I can watch Liam's game at 6. Are y'all going to be at 5:30?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I have no idea.
I have that. And then, of course, I've got 1 or 2 spots left in this junior program on Mondays. So my life is quite
dedicated to the youth.
Dedicated to the youth. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. If there's one thing to be dedicated to, it's not too bad.
Just trying to be a light, Ryan.
That's it. Every day, Jay.
Trying to.
Every day. You control your attitude when you walk out the door, and you can be a light in a dark room. And I think you do both of those brilliantly every day.
That's very profound. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, we may need to dial it back just a little bit. We started off on a high note. I'm sure it'll go downhill at some point, Smitty. I do have a poll question I'm going to put up there, but obviously we can discuss it as well. Jay, I'm going to paint the scenario for you, okay?
All right.
It is October 12th, Saturday, October 12th. Also coincides with the most popular wedding date in the year of 2024. You have Ohio State playing Oregon, Texas playing Oklahoma, Ole Miss playing LSU, and Penn State playing USC.
Ooh.
You're not the best man, but you're in the wedding party. You've been invited to be in the wedding party for, a friend, a good friend.
Yeah.
You are a huge college football fan. You may even be an Oregon or Ohio State fan. What are you doing?
Well, life experience. I'm going to throw some life experience.
Do that while I put this poll up on the on our Facebook feed.
Because I'm hoping that my buddy Isaac Strickland is listening in. Because I think what happened, I was in a wedding party back, many years ago, and something happened, and I ended up canceling about a few weeks before the wedding. And his ex-wife didn't like me for a number of years. Probably still doesn't like me. I would say go to the wedding party if that's a answer.
Go to the wedding.
Or go to the wedding.
Okay.
Be a part of the wedding
either
party.
You go to the wedding or you watch the college football.
I'm sorry, but but you can use 104.3 ESPN
well,
radio.
probably not for those games, but some of them for sure.
Yeah.
Some of them for sure.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is active. All right, it is active now on our Facebook page, but it's kind of a huge debate going around social media right now because, this is the first year of just the new conference realignment. You've got so many huge games that, we didn't get as often anymore. And maybe in that weekend, right now, if the AP poll stays the same, which obviously it'll change, that's number 2 versus number 3, number 4 versus 16, 6 versus 13, and 8 versus 23. And a couple of those are, LSU, Ole Miss is not, but Ohio State, Oregon, that's a new Big Ten matchup. They did play a few years ago as well. Obviously, Texas, Oklahoma, that's the Red River rivalry. And then Penn State doesn't typically play USC, but now that USC's in the Big Ten, they do.
So what's the poll question? I may have taken this off topic.
It's just, do you skip a friend's wedding if there are huge college football games on?
Okay, yeah. What are you doing?
Man, that's a tough one. It probably depends on the friend.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to find out to see if he is groveling with that decision, if he's got a friend that's getting married.
No, I don't. All my friends,
and
fortunately, have either gotten married or...
He can say, well, honey, I did a poll on the television radio show, and I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all gotten to the
blame it on us, in other words.
Right. When's the last wedding you've been to?
Oh, it's been a hot minute. Actually, no, I went to...
Diego's?
I went to Diego's, but that was probably the most recent, friend's wedding. And then, of course, we did the wedding for Sophie and her husband at Bay Point, John's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
But the last wedding I've been to was Diego's.
Okay.
That was a great time.
Yeah, that was in Pensacola.
But prior to that, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We're getting to the age now where these second and third marriages are like, let's just go to the courthouse. Let's just let's get it done.
You get one big one, and then the rest is history.
That's it. Check it off the box.
It's just a document anyway. That's literally all it is. Just another excuse in America to throw a really expensive party that your parents typically have to pay for.
You got that right.
So, but I got to imagine they're probably getting a little slimmed down with the how expensive everything is, because I couldn't imagine what it would cost nowadays for catering and food and something like that.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, we're in the era, Kyle Wright said, we're in the era to be able to watch any games, anywhere, anytime. So his answer is both. I was thinking about that, but then, okay, put yourself in the bride's shoes. So you're going to the wedding, but now you're spending time, either you're outside of the reception area watching stuff on a TV or watching it on your phone. Now you're distracted from the wedding. So I think you would either if you're going to do that, just don't go.
Yeah.
Because, and maybe not, maybe that's the way to do it. I mean, and at Diego's wedding, I'll be perfectly honest. Our
49ers
our good friend Kelly, it was the 49ers and the Seahawks. I was watching, I think I only ended up seeing and that was a playoff game. I think I saw the first quarter in the hotel room when we were getting ready. And then thankfully, Kelly, who worked with us over there at Shark's Tooth as well, she brought a big old iPad. She's a Niners fan too. And she had the Niners game streaming. So we had it at our table while we were eating dinner and all that stuff. So there might have been a few things yelled out loud that nobody else understood, but it was okay. It was okay. So, Kyle, I agree then. See, you can do both. You can do both. Absolutely. As long as you're the people are cool with it.
That's it.
But hey, finally had a poll question, Jay. I think we did do one yesterday, but it was really simple. It was like college football or Madden, because Madden's out, pre-play's out. Madden comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
Speaking of excitement, how about your Atlanta Braves there, Jay? Ever since we've been putting the pressure on and talking about them, they ripped off another win against the Giants last night. They are now still holding steady 2 games ahead of the Mets in the wild card, but they're just 6 games back of the Phillies now.
All right.
So they're making a little charge. They've won 3 in a row now, and guess who came back yesterday?
Who?
Michael Harris, center fielder. After about 45, 60 days being injured, he came back. Guess what he did in his first at-bat back?
What did he do?
Hit a grand slam.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
That's what they needed.
That's Harris 2, right? Has he got the 2 on the side, on the back of his jersey?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah, but yeah. Michael Harris the second, as you would call it, or the third. They don't say Michael Harris 2 or Michael Harris 3. Typically, you're junior, the second, the third.
That's right.
And then it goes to the 4th or 5th. But I don't know if anybody still actually really does that anymore.
I don't think I've ever seen a 5th. I've seen a 4th before.
Have you?
Davis Love. Drew Love is a 4th.
Could you call him Michael Harris the Deuce?
The Deuce.
Yeah, you could.
I like that.
That is good. I like that too.
Nice ring.
You were.
I've never seen a 5th.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a 4th. I think Bill's a 3rd.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. William the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be a 4, but I think he's the 3rd. Don't quote me on that. He's probably out there listening now. He
could
driving
be
around out there doing his job. So
call us, Bill. We want to know.
Yeah.
Are you a 3rd or 4th? Come on.
I can't. I should know this off the top of my head, but I do not.
Yeah.
Also wanted to mention Aaron Judge last night hit his 300th home run yesterday since he's been with the New York Yankees, and his 300th home run just in general because he's been with the Yankees since he came to the league. That is actually, he is the person to do that in the fewest amount of at-bats. Better than Babe Ruth, better than Mark McGwire, and better than Ralph Kiner. And that's and he's done it over 400 at bats fewer than these guys did.
And who is this again?
Aaron Judge.
Okay.
And he hit 3 home runs 2 nights ago, and then yesterday he hit another home run. So I think he's up to 40 on the year. So.
Is he still with the Yankees?
Yeah, that's what I just said. It's 300 home run with the Yankees.
With the Yankees,
yeah.
okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, and I think Shohei now is up to 35 home runs and 35 stolen bases, which is pretty exciting there for Mr. Ohtani, who is not currently pitching right now.
He a lot of money going his way.
True. At the end of it. Because he's deferred the majority of it out because he hopes to be retired and to move out of the state of California at that point to avoid paying all that crazy personal or state income tax.
Yeah.
All right, some other news as well. The United States men's national team. I know, Jay, you've been really wanting to know what they were going to do after they fired Burkhalter. They have announced yesterday that I might butcher this guy's name, but they have agreed to hire Mauricio Pochettino. He's going to be coming over to be the new United States men's national team coach. Obviously, bad hire there with Burkhalter. Didn't do what he needed to do, and he was fired after they finished 3rd in their group at the Copa America. But Mauricio Mauricio.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. Somebody can correct me if they know who I'm talking about. But the 52-year-old guided Tottenham Hotspur to the 2019 Champions League final and won League One with Paris Saint-Germain, PSG as most people know it, in the 2021-22 season. And most recently, he and Chelsea are mutually agreed to part ways after one season, which saw the Blues finish 6th in the Premier League. And it's not major news for us here, but the reason why I bring this up is we've talked to Jonah Hammond, the coach of the Arnold Marlins soccer team and the owner of Florida Roots, about what does the United States got to do to get better at soccer. And we talk about the youth. He talked about here it's about money. Over in Europe, it's about development, and that's typically why. So now you've got a guy coming from over there who knows the formula to be successful. So hopefully this is the and I likened it to when I was talking to somebody earlier about when Auburn hired Brian Harsin, and kind of when Florida State hired Willie Taggart.
Yeah,
they hired a guy that wasn't right for their culture, their football team, and now they both seem to have the guys. Hugh Freeze, doing an incredible job. His recruiting is they're 5th or 6th I think 5th or 6th in the 2025 recruiting rankings, which is insane for Auburn. And then of course Willie Taggart, we know the tenure he had at Florida State. Mike Norvell comes in and things get a lot better. Yeah. So hopefully this is the same move there for the United States men's national team.
I like it.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, right?
Absolutely.
They got, World Cup coming up in a couple years, hosted by North America.
Hey.
That's both Mexico, United States, and Canada, Jay. So, all of North America.
So it'll all be played in all 3 of those countries, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Because the continent is what's hosted, I believe. Don't correct. I'm pretty sure that's correct there. All right. Your previous Atlanta Falcons, I think, got a good deal yesterday. Pretty surprising out of New England, but it's just tough. The big trade yesterday. Matthew Judon, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler linebacker. He went to the Atlanta Falcons for a 3rd-round draft pick. But New England's entering the 6th year, Jay, post Tom Brady. Can you believe that 6 years has gone by now? That's crazy. This is the 6th year. There's been 5. This is the 6th they're going through. And how's it been in New England since he's been gone? Pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Bill Belichick era ended. The Pats admitted defeat on Mac Jones. Brandon Ayuk turned down a huge offer to be a New England Patriot, and their 6th rounder has been outplaying their number 3 pick at quarterback. And then yesterday they traded Matthew Judon, who's the best post-Brady player, to the Atlanta Falcons last night. And their over-under win total currently is 4.5.
New England is?
Yeah.
Yikes.
What do you think it's going to take to get New England going in the right direction?
Well, do you know off the top of your head who their key players are? Because I don't. I mean,
the guy that used to be there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got Jacoby Brissett's going to be your starter most likely. Drake May's in there. But they were talking about, I believe it was, what's his name? It's not Hendon Hooker. Who had the big game in the preseason for him where he ran and scrambled. Yeah. I'll think of it in a second. Yeah. But a little fun fact, too, about the trade with Matthew Judon going to the Falcons. They're not even close to a new contract after the trade. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you get traded to somebody, but then you're still not technically under contract. He will come to Atlanta without a new contract in hand, sources from Bleacher Report said, and there's not an expectation one is imminent. Accepting a trade without a new deal in place indicates a great deal of trust between Judon and the Falcons. So he's not even under contract yet, or going to be anytime soon.
You're kind of jumping from the frying pan to the fire, right? I mean, I just...
Well, Falcons, they're supposed to be.
Maybe. I wonder what they're over. Do you know how many games they're predicted to go this year?
I can find out probably fairly quickly.
I wouldn't think any more than 7.
No, it should be more than that.
You
would
think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Their defense, they added Kirk Cousins. They got weapons. Let me see. Falcons under wins 24. 9.5.
Hey.
Yeah, see?
They're a ball play. They're a ball team now.
They probably have a higher over under total than the Bills. Bills might be at 10.5. I could be wrong. You'd have to look that up. You'd have to look that up. But yeah, no, I think for the Falcons, I mean, once they get them under contract, I think it's a good move. The Falcons got a lot of really good players, and I think with Arthur Smith heading out, they've got some new coaching in there. They got Penix in the bench. He'll learn for a couple years as long as Kirk Cousins can stay healthy. And then, of course, they've bolstered up their defense as well. So
AI is telling me that the Buffalo Bills are 10.5.
Ah, see, I was right. So they're 10.5.
Yeah.
Over under 10.5 for your Bills.
I'm taking the under.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately. But, hey, 9 or 10 games still get you into, what would it be called now? January football?
Depends on what division and conference,
Yeah. January football is always nice.
Well, yeah. Well, January football, the regular season extends into January
that's
too.
right.
So
that's right.
Most of these teams will also be playing January football as well. But there's also a trade that happened between the Giants and the Cowboys in the division. Nothing too exciting there, but Jordan Phillips, he's a defensive tackle. He's been traded from the Giants to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a 6th and 7th round pick there. So good stuff. Did you hear? You probably didn't yesterday. J.J. McCarthy is out for the season.
I did not.
They repaired the meniscus tear. A lot of people thought he'd be able to come back, 4, 6, 8 weeks. But the way they repaired the meniscus was to give him longevity in his career. So he will be out indefinitely for the season. But yeah.
I come up under my rock to come to the radio show, Ryan.
That's it. No, you were busy yesterday.
Yeah,
you were real busy yesterday. Do you know who has the most turnovers in the NFL since 2020?
Team or player?
Player.
Turnover.
And it's all quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's a correlation.
Is there? Oh, gosh. Who was the Falcons quarterback last year?
That's not the correlation.
That's not who it is?
Nope.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
No way.
Josh Allen is he's in the tier 1. He's got 75 plus turnovers. Nobody in the 65 plus. And then Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence, and Jared Goff both in the 55 plus tier. And then it kind of goes down from there. But yeah.
You got to wrap that football up.
He does run a lot, which leads to a lot of stuff. But we got to go ahead and take a quick break, Jay. While we're off, we're going to get Coach Jason Griffin on the line. Excited to talk to him about the upcoming Arnold Marlins football season. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
On the line with us, and we are looking for the phrase that pays. Caller, what's that phrase that pays?
Shop on.
Yeah, my man. Hey, way to go. Where are you calling from, bro?
I'm driving. Actually, I'm coming down 231.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. A possibility of thunderstorms and very light rain this afternoon and evening with a wind out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour and a high of 92. Tonight, look for a mixture of partly cloudy skies and possible thunderstorms with a temperature near 77. Tomorrow, a high around 91 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's here again, Toyota's national sales event. And this month at Panama City Toyota, you can get 1.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on the new Tundra. With its twin turbo engine and towing power, Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Get styled for miles in the all-new Camry, explore the great outdoors in a new RAV4, or discover the new totally redesigned Tacoma. See us soon at our national sales event.
Offer expires September 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Now,
It's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves pound Robbie Ray and the Giants as they've taken 3 in a row by the Bay. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and your Braves Radio Network morning updates coming up next.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets.
Wednesday night at Oracle Park in San Francisco, it was the Braves with a season-high 13 runs as they picked up their third straight win, taking down the Giants 13-2. Braves sent all 9 to the plate in the top of the first, getting a bases-loaded walk and a grand slam from Michael Harris II, the first of his career in his first at-bat off the injured list. Braves tacked on another in the third on a solo homer from Matt Olson. Then it was a solo shot from Austin Riley to lead off the 5th inning, and later on in the ball game in the top of the 8th, Sean Murphy delivered a 2-run homer, his 7th of the year. Grant Holmes would allow just 2 runs over 7 innings worth of work as he picked up his first major league win in the effort, as the Braves now have a chance at a 4-game sweep with Max Fried on the mound coming up later on this afternoon. Hear the finale of the Braves and Giants right here on the Braves Radio Network at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and this has been your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Well, we don't get to talk to a lot of football coaches, Jay, because our 11-to-1 time frame usually doesn't suit well. But we're excited to have on the line new Arnold football coach Jason Griffin. Coach, how are you doing on this beautiful Thursday?
Oh, I'm doing really well, guys.
Excellent. Thanks for taking time from your busy schedule to come on and chat with us. Obviously, tremendous success at Bozeman. For those who don't know, including myself, how long have you been kind of coaching in football and specifically here in Bay County?
Well, I'm from Bay County, and most of my coaching career, I did a couple years over in Pensacola Catholic High School, but I've been here most of the 26 years I've been doing this.
Awesome. And, going from Bozeman to Arnold, big step up in class, but what kind of was the driving factors but kind of behind making that move to head over to Arnold?
Well, other than the 6 years of Bozeman, I'd always been at bigger schools. I was at Mosley for a couple of years. I was at Rutherford for, close to, 15 years. I was at Arnold a couple of years before Bozeman. So, I'm more familiar with the upper classifications. That's kind of where I've been for the majority of my career. Bozeman was sort of a new challenge and a new thing. So, just honestly coming out here to the beach, just the opportunity to have some resources and being a bigger classification. And, there was just a ton of things that made this job attractive. I know that, there have been some issues with, a lack of success and what things that have gone on here before. But, for me, they just looked at an opportunity to go out there and maybe hopefully give them an opportunity to have something a little better.
Coach, who are some key players that you can kind of talk about that's really going to make a difference in your upcoming season?
Well, we got really high hopes for our junior quarterback, Will Cotter. I think that a lot of our success is going to hinge on his development and how well he plays. Not to put a lot of pressure on the young man, but with our offense the way that it runs, it runs through the quarterback, and I think we're going to need Will to play well. And we've got a really talented group of guys around him, including Darren Elder, who's outstanding cornerback, but he also does Mr. Everything on offense. He can play running back. He can play any of the receiver positions. He's a guy that we try to get the ball in his hands because he can make things happen. On defense, we got a 4-year starter D lineman, been with me a long time, Will King. Mac Jones, the SI linebacker. We've got some really talented receivers in Truman Parsons, Connor Tyndall on both sides of the ball. Another talented kid. So we've got some guys that we really feel like can play football. Yeah. It's been a long process. I haven't only been there since January 22nd was the day I got announced. So we feel like we've come, light years. But have we come far enough? That's going to be the question, and I think we're about to find that out here in a couple of days, or here tomorrow.
There you go.
How much of the coaching staff were you able to bring from Bozeman over?
Well, I brought, Mark Stanton came with me. He and I have been together since I got hired at Rutherford back in 01. He sort of broke me in and really helped me out when I was a young coach, kind of up and coming. And now, we've got an opportunity to continue working together. He was with me at most of my years at Bozeman. And then, of course, my best friend and, my defensive coordinator at Bozeman, Josh Wright, who used to be, consequently, when I worked for Arnold, I was his OC when he was the head coach at Arnold. Now he's returned with me to kind of continue what he started here and build on some of the traditions that he was building and some of the things that we did before. So, those are some guys that came along with me. And then I had some pretty special additions with Kevin Pettis. Most recently head coach at Childs. He's won a state championship, been there 4 times. One of the most successful head coaches in the state of Florida in the last 30 years. And his son, our offensive line coach, Trey Pettis, came on board with us as well. So, I've been beyond fortunate to have really the most elite, most unbelievable coaching staff that I've ever seen. I mean, it's humbling, and I can't even believe it sometimes that I get to come to work with these guys every day.
And that's really, that's where it starts, and that's the stuff that makes the difference, no doubt.
Coach, I've got a couple of kids that my kids go to Bozeman, and I know that, obviously last year you guys had a great football season. What were some things, you could tell the fans had bought into everything, and the student athletes bought in. What are some things that you can kind of tell us that to get players to buy into what you're teaching and coaching them?
Well, I tell you, what a great experience at Bozeman, and what a great school. I tell you, I had not a single negative thing that I could say about Dean Bozeman or anybody there, to be honestly. And a lot of it had to do with, it's a challenging job being at that level. It's pretty taxing on me both physically and emotionally, with what the things that we did there. And I felt like, we brought that program to a place, and I know that Bronson's taken it over, and he could probably continue to have success up there. So, I love my experience at Bozeman. Grateful to have had it, and I'll tell you, you talk about some great people. I love those people up there. So there's not a negative thing I can say, but yeah. I think the one thing that you talk about buy-in, I think the one thing that I didn't have to do was get that the benefit I had is I wasn't some resume from 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
These dudes, they knew who I was. They saw the success we had at Bozeman. We had a lot of success in a place that said you couldn't have it. Yeah. So it was no mystery. I was no secret. These guys that played against me, they knew exactly who I was and what I was coming in the door. So I really don't think I had much trouble with the buy-in as far as getting it. Keeping it, that's the job. We have to keep these guys bought in and keep them. And I'll tell you, these guys have worked, and they've shown up, and they have really given it. I could not be more pleased with the buy-in that we have, and I hope that we do a good enough job as coaches that we keep that.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to last season, because I totally and help me kind of talk this out a little bit, but it had come down to the last play, and I want to say Bozeman's quarterback threw a Hail Mary pass, and that's what got you guys going into the playoffs. Or help me with that, if you can.
Well, we had a few games down the stretch that really came down to the wire. We kicked over at Chipley. We kicked a field goal with time expiring to win that one.
Yeah.
Against Holmes County, we had a couple big-time battles that came down to late plays. We weren't down, but our quarterback made a big-time throw late in the game to win it, to put us up to win that game. Peyton made some great plays, and Chance Jenkins and those guys made some fantastic plays to win some close games against good football teams late. And that was just sort of our MO is, in the fourth quarter, that was the time when our guys shined. We were going to step up, and that's the time when we won football games last year. And it was just a great group of guys that it's an experience that that's kind of special. You don't get that stuff all the time. And I just hope we can replicate some of that out here on the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got the coaching staff, you got the buy-in. Obviously, I got to imagine the buzz around Arnold High School has got to be more than it's been in a long time, especially just specifically for the football team. But, with Jay, he coaches now the Arnold golf team. It just seems like Arnold is in such a really, really cool place with student athletes and the athletics going on at Auburn, or at Arnold. Sorry, I was looking at an Auburn logo right here in the studio.
Close enough. It's close.
2 syllables. Yeah. It's 2 syllables. Begins with an A. No, it's close. But what are your realistic expectations for this season coming up? I mean, obviously, I know you there's a lot of things that have to come to fruition, but you've got all these things that are being the inputs coming in, and now, like you said, we're going to find out what it's all about here at the Kickoff Classic. But what are your realistic expectations for this season?
Well, and athletics at Arnold overall have been fantastic. I think that there's been one thing missing. I think football it's been a struggle in recent years, and that's an important aspect of the overall athletic program, and that's not lost on me at all, or our principal or athletic director, and in what we're trying to accomplish. And I think it's been as bad as it's been. There's a I don't know if desperation is the right word. It's a hunger. There's a need to have our football team to be something they can be proud of. Absolutely. I think the people are so desperate for it out here. They want it so badly, and that's the thing that we want to give them. Now, it's not an easy thing to accomplish, to take a football program from what it was and to make it something that's special. My goal for Arnold is for it to be one of the elite programs in Northwest Florida. I mean, that's why I came here. Yeah. That's what I want to do. When people talk about football in Northwest Florida, instead of just talking about Nicevilles and Pine Forests and Lincolns, I'd like Arnold to be in that conversation. Now, again, when you ask me to be realistic about it, I have the same goal personally, and I think the coaches that they coach with me as well. No matter what, we don't really think about what's happened at Arnold and the history of it.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter now.
For us, we have that same expectation. I don't care what school I'm at or what season it is, to be honest with you. Our expectation is to go out there, work hard, win the games that we have to win, and get ourselves in position to make the postseason. And then that's our goal. To me, that's been my goal every season I've ever coached. Again, how we position ourselves to do that, again, we're gonna see tomorrow night kind of where it's gonna be a barometer for where we're at. But it's our goal is to make the postseason. Now, again, I don't know if that's realistic or not, but again, that's not how I approach it. I approach it, and this is what our goal is, and this is what we're going to try to accomplish. And we got 10 games to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's a lot of, and like you said, Arnold, baseball, soccer, softball. I mean, volleyball. I mean, they've been fantastic. But at the end of the day, your lifeblood of an athletic program is your football team. I mean, I'm not discrediting any other sport. It's
not
just
golf.
It's up there. It's a close second. Okay. It's a close second, Jay. But I mean, it's true. And one of the things that we moved here in the end of 2015, and we lived just real close to Arnold High School. So we were going to the homecomings. We go to a lot of Arnold stuff, and that's kind of what we've dove into. But it's just so good for your, we're a tourist area, but we're also a really tight knit community, and we've got great high schools here. But when all the high school football teams are playing at high levels, and those inter-county rivalries are intense and good, that's good for everybody. So I think everybody's excited about you and your coaching staff and being at Arnold and seeing what you can do there, and I think it's going to be fantastic coming up.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But I just think that we back when you were back there in 2015, 16, we were competing with the other schools, and I think it was a lot of fun. I remember the last year I was at Mosley. We had a battle, or I don't know, rather we had a battle with Mosley out at Gavlac, and we ended up winning the game on a little QB throwback I called on a 2-point conversion to win the game late. The place was packed and the place just went nuts, and I was like, that's Bay County football. And that's the Bay County football I remember, and that's kind of the Bay County football I'd like to see again. And the reality that was in order to do that, Arnold has to be putting a product on the field that's competitive with Bay, that's competitive with Mosley, that's competitive with Rutherford. And until we do that, we're not going to see a resurgence overall of Bay County football. I don't think so. We have a mission ahead of us. We have a job, and I think our kids are up for it.
And that's a big responsibility that you carry, and it's a good point. I mean, you're the high school on the beach, and for Bay County football, if that part of it is down, it's it's your responsibility to get it up there. But it all starts.
Uniqueness.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, there's uniqueness with us in that we're probably the only school in Bay County that has a really clearly defined zone.
Yeah.
In town, the zones with other schools, kind of what street, where does it end, where does it begin? I think when you cross a bridge out here, you're in Arnold territory. So, there's a uniqueness to who we are. And, when you're on the beach, you're Arnold. And, that is a big responsibility to bear. That's not something I take lightly. I know that we represent the beach community, and that's something I take pretty seriously.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of getting going, tell everybody the details coming up tomorrow night, the Kickoff Classic, the unofficial start to the high school football season here in Bay County.
Yeah, we got a really talented Pensacola, Washington team coming in. They've got some really athletic players, some talented guys across the board. Didn't have a great year last year, but we can relate to that as well. So we're excited about the opportunity to play a team that's got some guys that play at a high caliber. We're going to play. Or the first half's going to be the best on best, and we're going to play a couple series in the third, best on the best. Then we're going to start rolling in our backups and our JV guys in the fourth through the end of the third and the fourth. So, that's what we're going to try to do is kind of get a look at our guys. And like I said before, it's a barometer for where we are. We know that we're still a ways off from being the football team we want to be, but tomorrow's going to give us an idea just how far we have to go and just how much work we still have to do. And I think the people out here are excited about seeing what we are. I know there's a lot of people who are curious about what is Arnold for real? Who are we? Are we going to be better? Or is it going to be the same old? So I think tomorrow's going to be a lot of people out there anxious to find out what the answers are.
Coach, I haven't been to a pep rally in 25 years. What's it like these days? Is it pretty low key or high key?
Well, I think that depends on, again, the success and the history of the football team. I know that when I got to Bozeman, they weren't too exciting, but I know last year they were pretty rowdy and pretty intense. So, I think if our guys go out and perform on the field and we start having success, I think those pep rallies are going to be a lot more fun.
Nice. There you go. Hey, Coach, we got about a minute 30 seconds left. But I don't think we'll be able to talk to you before the opening Week 1 game against Bay, but hosting Bay at Gavlac Week 1 next week. How excited are you for that one?
No big deal.
Nah, there you go. There you go. Just business as usual. I like it.
I would be disingenuous if I said that was just another game, just another week. I think that one, again, Bay, our zones butt up against each other. They're potentially a longtime rival. I think that game for us is paramount to who we are and whether our program is going to be good now or whether we're a project. And I think that we can say whatever we want to say. I think our kids and all of our coaches, I think that, we're playing tomorrow night, but I think in the back of all of our minds is that game next week against Bay High. And, can we get it done? That's the game that's circled for us right now. And I know we got a lot of football to play after. That's only Week 1, but I would imagine in all of our minds that's the game right there that we're all focused on. Is that the game that's going to kickstart us? Or are we going to have to get back to the drawing board? So I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't going to be a big night for us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. I feel the excitement. Yeah. I'm excited to get out there and watch the team compete, and we appreciate you jumping on with us. And best of luck, not only in the Kickoff Classic, but in that big Week 1 matchup against Bay.
Hey, guys, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Coach Jason Griffin with the Arnold Marlins varsity football team. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins.
And Kyle Wright.
And the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
The Mosley Dolphins take on rivals Niceville, Rutherford, and the Bay Tornadoes. Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quality's limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. He has one man to beat. He beat him. George Wells Hunter. Touchdown Auburn.
Kickoff on the Plains is coming.
50, 10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Peyton Ford.
Auburn football returns August 31st.
The kick is on the way. The season is underway.
Only on your home for the Tigers.
Auburn fans, we're bringing you every single game this season on the exclusive home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast. ESPN, Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
From the beach to the bay to the backyard, it's the Inside Drive from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
I've got sand in my underpants.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, I don't know about you, but all this high school football talk's getting me pretty fired up for high school sports this fall.
I can smell it in the air.
Yeah, you can feel it coming in the air tonight?
I can.
I smell heat. That's what I smell.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
Gotta hydrate. But by the time the season rolls around to be over, it'll be a little bit cooler.
It will. I'm looking forward to it. Even 75 for the low is looking nice next week.
Yeah, and the dew points are supposed to go down a little bit, which makes it what?
Not as humid? Yeah, let's go.
That's from your time with Joanna.
Yep, that's she has enlightened me on some meteorology stuff, and she knows her stuff.
I would hope so. She reports for us here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
She said it may be a little warm winter this winter. Not don't expect any cold temperatures. So I did get that forecast from her. So we'll see if she's.
I wouldn't put that mail that one home, but because it always does get a little bit cold in here. But yeah, no, it's speaking of football, how many days, Jay? We're still in the morning hour, so the one hasn't switched the lesser number yet.
Well, it sounds like we're 24 hours to some high school football.
To high school football, yes. The kickoff classics, you got, I believe, 3 tomorrow and 1 on Saturday.
Are we down to single digits? Am I going to say number 9?
In 15 minutes, absolutely. Yes. College football gets under. There it is. Hey. I hadn't heard that one in a while. That's one of the best sounders we got.
Schmitty.
9 days. Well, it's actually 10 right now, but 9 once we hit the afternoon time to the kickoff of week 0 in college football. That'll be Florida State and Georgia Tech. Where, Jay?
Florida State, Georgia Tech. It seems like that would be at Mercedes-Benz Dome. Is that not
probably
correct?
Probably about 2,500 to 3,000 miles away from that.
Really?
To the east.
Oh, we're going across the pond.
That's right. Playing in Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah. There we go. See, you're just learning all sorts of stuff today. So that makes, we'll give you 9. If we're at 9, how many days until the start of the NFL football season? 20. Absolutely.
20.
The way the countdown works is it doesn't count the day. So NFL football starts 3 weeks from today.
Okay.
But the countdown, we're already through today, so we just go to the next day.
Gotcha.
But yeah, countdown, and you'll have a game Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday games, and a Monday night football game.
It's on.
Opening weekend. It's coming. It means, guess what? Next weekend.
What's that?
Sunday, the 25th. Don't forget, 6:30 p.m. You have to be there.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Indeed.
Fantasy draft.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football Draft. The Inside Drive League. 6:30 p.m. We're drafting live.
Are kids allowed?
Liam's in the league. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. I may have to get Parker, my son, to come.
That would probably be helpful for you. Absolutely. But yes, big shout out to PCB Hobby hosting the ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football Draft. 52 teams. People is what it is, but 52 people drafting, 16 in the Champions League, 3 in the Inside Drive, Coach James Hale, and Afternoon Underdog Leagues. And also got to give a shout out to Skip Stoltz and Domino's Pizza, all the great Domino's locations around here in Bay County, but they're going to be providing some pizza for us for the draft as well. So looking forward to that. Appreciate everybody that's coming, and you got to be there because it's a live draft.
All right. August 25th, 6:30 p.m.
PCB Hobby. Right there in the Lindell Plaza.
10-4.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. Don't forget.
I won't.
I'll remind you a lot of times between now and then.
Okay.
I know the guys, but Keith will be here too. So
Yep.
Keith's going to join us in the studio next Friday.
Hey, all right.
He's coming down. I think he'll be with us on Wednesday, but then in studio on Friday. So we'll have to do some kind of fun challenge again.
Oh, yeah, we did the water challenge last year.
Yes.
And,
we haven't done a challenge in a long time.
know.
Because we did another challenge prior to that, didn't we? We
did.
did a water challenge, but then we did. What was the other one? Can you remember?
I cannot remember.
It wasn't. Was it drinking something?
No.
Do we do like soda out of a can, bottle, glass, or that? Maybe that was one we were gonna do.
Maybe.
You're gonna have to remember this.
Yeah,
'cause
I can't.
I've got nothing.
The water was a great one.
Yeah,
because I don't think we were that great.
No,
we were.
It just
not
goes
good.
to show you that the hose water, tap water, bottle water.
Yeah,
it's all the same. It's all the same. Just got a little different taste depending on how long it's been out in the sun.
That's right.
You know what we haven't talked about in a little while?
What's that?
Luke Clanton.
Oh, Florida State
golfer. He is the #1 amateur now in the world.
Ooh.
And he's had a heck of a summer. I think he's made the cut in, 3 out of 5 PGA Tour events. And now he's playing in the U.S. Amateur. You forgot that was going on, didn't you?
Yeah, I forgot that was going on.
U.S. Am. They are in the in the round of 64. He obviously... U.S. Amateur, you got 168 people, something like that. You play 2 rounds of stroke play. The top 64 scores go on to match play. And a lot of big names have won the U.S. Amateur. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But he ended up, and you don't have to medal to make a big thing, but he ended up being 21st after the stroke play round. And I believe he was 3 under par for the 2 rounds. They're playing up there at Hazeltine National. Where's Hazeltine? You know what state it is, Jay? That you may not. It's not really a trick question, but
I thought it was Pennsylvania.
Nope, it is
not.
further west than that and a little bit north.
Hazeltine,
Soda. Minnesota, Hazeltine National up there. So in the round of 64, which was the opening round there, Mr. Clanton defeated Dylan McDermott 4-3 in that opening match. And so it's gone down to the round of 32. It is underway as we speak. Got to find Luke's name. Let's see where he is. They're currently even through 11 holes. He's going against Jackson Buchanan out of Dacula. Do you know where that is? Dacula, Georgia?
Yeah, Dacula.
Dacula.
Yeah. Yep. That's about 40 miles northeast of Atlanta, GA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Northeast.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
And what was that guy's name again?
I just closed it down.
Oh, sorry.
I couldn't remember it. I couldn't remember it. You know what else is going on that we haven't talked about at all yet?
What?
Probably one of your favorite things.
Really?
What's played in Williamsport, Pennsylvania?
Oh, the Little League World Series.
The Little League World Series. It's that time of year. It's actually on ESPN as we speak. But the bracket is up. Their games have been played. One of the things I did want to mention yesterday in the Mexico versus, it was the Caribbean winner, but I want to say it was Aruba, the team that made it to there. They played Mexico and they lost 2-0. But the Mexican team pitched a no-hitter.
Ooh.
7th no-hitter in Little League World Series history.
How about that?
Pretty good stuff. The kid was throwing like 77, 76.
Which equivalents to
99, 100. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
12 years old.
Whew. Throwing them haymakers.
Throwing some heat. That is for sure.
Who's representing the Southeast?
Let me see. Let me pull up the schedule.
Because I've seen some teams, right there in LaGrange, Georgia, recently that it's not too far away.
Southeast region is Little Mary Little League. This team is Lake Mary, Florida.
Okay.
That is your Southeast team. Let's see. New England region, that is from up there in New Hampshire. That is Salem Little League. It is from Salem, New Hampshire. Any other ones you got a question about?
Yeah. What about Northwest?
Northwest. That is Puyallup. It's Puyallup.
You're doing your clean it up.
Puyallup, Washington. That is the South Hill Little League team from up there in Washington.
How about that?
Might as well keep it going.
Southwest.
Southwest. I clicked on South. That is Southwest. Bourne, Texas. The Bourne Little League team there. Northwest we did. New England we did. The Mountain region. Oh, Henderson, Nevada. Peso Verde. Little League team there.
All right.
That's actually very close to where my aunt and uncle live. Very, very close, actually. Probably within like 20, 30 minutes. The Mid-Atlantic region, that's from Pennsylvania. That's the Council Rock Newton Little League from Newtown, Pennsylvania. The Metro region, which is kind of the New York metro area, that is the South Shore Little League, as from Staten Island. And then last but not least, since we mentioned all of them, the Hinesdale Little League team from Hinesdale, Illinois, is the last United States team in there.
Very cool.
But yeah, big bracket all culminates on August 25th with the championship game between the winner of the international and the winner of the U.S. final.
I'm assuming these kids don't play baseball to skip school. I'm sure they are in it to win it. Wouldn't you think?
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
By the time you make it to the Little League World Series, you've gone through your local, your regional, and then you've advanced out of your regional to represent your region. So I wonder if there's any teams, and Jay Chapman or somebody that's been here for a while probably could say something if there's been any teams around here that have made it to the College World Series, the Little League World Series.
The last time we were in, Jay Chapman was in studio.
I think he mentioned it.
He did. It was in the 90s. There was a team from Panama City that, and I remember seeing video. I don't know how I caught video. It may be on YouTube, but I remember watching some of the game that somebody used a camcorder.
The old VHS camcorder.
Yeah,
that was probably even before they came out with the mini little tapes. Remember those?
Yeah, I remember those.
Time has changed. Yeah, the big old camcorder there on your shoulder.
Oh yeah,
you had one, didn't you?
No.
You've been filmed by one, I should say.
Yeah. It's like the National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah. Yep, the European one.
The European one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Good stuff. Good stuff. But I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. And also, the Panama City Baseball League next season is going to Little League instead of Dizzy Dean.
Well, that's
so there will be
good.
an opportunity for a Panama City team to move on to the regional and potentially represent our area in the Little League World Series. We got a caller online. Maybe they know the last time. Who we got out there?
This is Glenn.
Hey.
Glenn Gibson.
How you doing?
R.L. Turner out of Panama City made it to the World Series, to the final in the late 90s.
Wow.
Maybe it was the mid-90s.
You said, what was the name you said?
R.L. Turner Baseball.
R.L. Turner.
It's the fields are located off of Lisenby Avenue down toward where the old airport used to be.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That's awesome. Thank you for letting us know.
you.
And I recalled, like you were talking about, Jay, that he had mentioned something like that. I got to imagine everybody from the area was probably glued to the TV for that one.
Absolutely.
Console.
And so they made it all the way to the U.S. final, or they made it to the final against the...
They made it to. I'm almost positive they made it to the final.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if they won or not, but it was mid to late 90s. I just remember driving and listening on the radio that they were asking for help because they needed help with some funding.
Wow, they got the record. Yeah, 1996 R.L. Turner Little League World Series. That is from Panama City, Florida. R.L. Turner. Here's some names on it: Jeff Boutwell, Chase Foster, Drew McQuaige, Jack Posey, Mark Sauls, Trey Shields, Cleet Thomas. Didn't Cleet Thomas go on to play in the?
He played in the big league. He made it to the show.
That's right. Chris Weimer, Josh Cooper, Ryan Harris, Josh Ogburn, Dennis Sauls, Bill Shields, Chris Sisson, and Brian Turnipseed. Look at that right there. Good stuff. Well, cool. Thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in. That is pretty neat.
Would be cool if one of them would call in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Cleet's movie. I know his parents, so I know his mom. I think he's living in Tampa because he ended up playing with the Rays, I believe.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you for giving us a call, and thank you for letting know. And, of course, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you very, very much. Look at that, Jay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, learn it. I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah.
Glad I brought it up. 1996 Little League World Series. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna look it up in the break and see how they did bracket wise. See if they made it to that international pot. That'd be insane.
I say it all the time. We've done it once. We can do it again.
Of course. And if you've never done it, you can do it too.
But that's right. Well, that's true too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very good stuff. But yeah, Little League World Series, I believe, is on ESPN as we speak. Games are rocking and rolling. Fun to see the kids out there just dishing it and playing and having fun.
Throwing heat.
76.
That's
Age
crazy.
12, Jay. Age 12. Man. That is some crazy stuff. That is for sure. Maybe we did get if whoever's on, we can hold them over until we get back, because I know we got to go ahead and take a quick break. But yeah, maybe that's somebody from the Little League team. I hope so. Yeah. This is exciting.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. But yeah, we'll do some afternoon delight debriefs pending the phone call.
There you go.
You got any for today?
I've got one or two.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing from it. Yeah. But we got to go ahead and take our top of the hour break. When we get back, we'll find out who's on the line, and maybe it's a Little League World Series player. You're listening to The Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up to the minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. A possibility of thunderstorms and very light rain this afternoon and evening with a wind out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour and a high of 92. Tonight, look for a mixture of partly cloudy skies and possible thunderstorms with a temperature near 77. Tomorrow, a high around 91 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they'll get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Man, is it hot. Not only is the weather hot, the savings on name brand Western wear at That Boot Store is sizzling. During their 60th anniversary celebration going on now. Shop the hot deals in air conditioning comfort and be amazed at the tremendous selections of Carhartt work clothes and Western wear available at That Boot Store. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Bill Burkey at 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, Panama City, all the beautiful Bay County areas. 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the Forgotten Coast. You can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, follow. That's Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. And as Jay told us at the beginning of the show, to find that free mobile app in the Google Play or Apple Store, all you got to do really is type in 104.3.
And it's 6 down.
And it's 6 down. And you don't even have to scroll. It's on the first page.
That's right.
So you don't even have to try that hard. You just type in 104.3. Really no excuse now not to have that mobile app in your phone. You can follow us on TikTok, Inside.Drive. Then you can head over to ESPNPC.com. You can click that little KHS TV logo. $40 a month. pretty much every possible sporting event channel you could ask for. It right there at ESPNPC.com. Also going to give a shout out to our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer, GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. Lots of new vehicles need to get out because the 25s need to come in. So there's great incentives, great rates. Go check them out. Used cars values still super high. So if you got something to trade in to get something new, and don't forget, if you own your own business, tax write-off, if it's over 6,000 pounds, you can pretty much, deduct the entire purchase, Jay.
6,000 pounds?
6,000 pounds.
How about that?
There you go.
Hey.
There you go.
Interesting.
I mean, a 6,000-pound vehicle's, probably pretty expensive, but you can deduct in the first year.
There you go.
The purchase.
Yep.
I want to hear more about their marine service.
Oh, I'm going to let you know that here in a second.
Okay.
One of the cool things about Bill Kramer GM is they sell tires at cost, Jay. Lots of other great service, express service, regular service. They got cars, vans, trucks, SUVs, beautiful Corvettes. They got the Hummer that walks to the side like a crab as well. You can check. I don't know if they got any left, but if there was one there, it's pretty cool to see.
Interesting.
I've never seen it in person, but I've watched the videos. All the wheels just turn and it kind of shimmies like a little crab. Which, if you live in a big city where you're parallel parking all the time, that could probably come in pretty handy.
To the left, to the left.
But what Schmitty was asking about is that's Kramer Marine and Outdoor. And if you got a boat, Jay, and it's not working, there's only one place to go.
Kramer Marine Outdoor.
Or you don't even have to go anywhere. You can stay where you're at. With their mobile service, they'll come out to you and get your boat back out on the water. Tourist season is slowly fading away. That gives more room for the locals to be out there on the water.
That's the part I wanted to hear. They'll come to you.
There you go.
Hot dog, I'm in.
You can't beat that. You don't even have to go anywhere.
No.
Especially guys like me that hate to drive a trailer. Boom, they'll come right to you. They'll come to your dock. You can leave it on the dock. They'll fix it on the dock.
Yeah. Some people just don't know how to drive a trailer.
That's true. That's true. I've had
I remember that story you told.
Yes, no doubt. Yamaha Outboard Full Line Dealer. They got 2 Yamaha Master Certified mechanics on staff. They do sell the family of CRI boats, plus the one Jay always says they sell Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter. You can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. The mecca of boat and car dealerships right there, as Jay says, is the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street.
Yes, sir.
You say 23rd Street in Frankfurt.
Yeah, I'm backwards.
Before we get into some afternoon delight debriefs, they have all the history of the Little League World Series. Back in 1999, the U.S. South, which was the Panama City team, in their 14th game made it all the way to the USA final, and they beat the U.S. East team 3-2. And the U.S. East team got out to a 2-0 start in the top of the first, and then the U.S. South team took a 3-2 lead in the second inning, and there wasn't another run scored the rest of the way. That pushed them on to the total final of the 1999 College World Series, and as our caller had mentioned, the Far East did win that one 5-0. International team has always been pretty stout, especially from Japan. But really cool. The Panama City team back in 1999. I wonder if they've done like a 20-year, or 25 would be this year.
It would be this year. Yeah, how about that?
I wonder if they do like a reunion or something like that. They should if they don't. That'd be pretty cool.
And Arnold High School's 25 years. This is 25 years for Arnold High School. How about that?
And that's why you went over. He wanted to be part of the quarter century.
I did.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. All right, you got any afternoon delight and debriefs?
Well, I do, Ryan. I do.
Mm-hmm.
What about this headline?
I'm ready.
Disney wants lawsuit over doctor's death dismissed over the husband's Disney Plus subscription.
Tell me more.
Confused.
So there's a lawsuit from this lady whose husband passed away.
The lady did. So the husband had a Disney Plus subscription.
And the lady passed away because of it?
And they were visiting, this is my words right here. They were visiting Disney Springs. They did eat at a restaurant down at Disney Springs. And her allergies, she didn't inform the staff of her allergies, I guess.
And the staff didn't ask either.
So
according to this.
Yeah. So basically, Piccola is the name seeking $50,000 in damages under Florida's Wrongful Death Act. Anyways, Disney's attempting to dismiss a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Jeffrey Piccola, whose wife, Miss Tangson, died after an allergic reaction at a Disney Springs restaurant. Disney argues that Piccola agreed to arbitrate disputes when he signed up for the Disney Plus in 2019. and used the My Disney Experience app in 2023. Piccola's lawyers call this argument preposterous and outrageously unreasonable, stating that the suit was filed on behalf of Ms. Tangsun's estate, not Piccola personally. But Tangsun, and she was a New York. This is wild. She was a New York University doctor, but she died of something called anaphylaxis.
Yeah, anaphylaxis shock or something like that.
After dining at the Raglan Road Irish Pub. I'm sure a lot of us have probably have been there before.
Not me.
I haven't either.
I've been to Disney Springs, so I don't know.
And restaurants, despite informing the staff of her allergies, Piccola is seeking that.
Oh, so they did inform of the allergies is what this is saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but Disney's trying to use some Disney Plus subscription as a way to get out of the suit.
Yes.
I mean, it's $50,000.
Right?
Maybe that's the max you can do for a wrongful death in Florida.
I mean, they make $50,000 in about 24 seconds down there, right?
Maybe less than that.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
I don't know.
But anyways, that was crazy.
That's an interesting one.
Very interesting.
That's an interesting one. You want me to jump into one while you're... Okay. All right, this is kind of sports related, but very interesting. Did you ever watch Fire Island on Netflix?
I did not.
Okay, that's the one where Ja Rule and this one guy, he's now, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's now in prison. He did a lot of fraudulent stuff. So they had this huge party. They were selling these cabanas, but they never actually built it. And people actually went to it. It's such a disaster. You still need to watch it. But anyway, for those who...
people get booed off Fire Island or something?
No, it has nothing to do with that. Basically, they promised this massive giant concert, models, Ja Rule, Blink-182, big time people coming, but they didn't put the infrastructure together and they didn't have anything. So yeah, it was wild. And basically, people flew there. There was no power, there was nothing, and then they were stuck, and they eventually got out. Ooh. But this came from College Basketball Report. This is a true story. The George Mason's men's basketball team was scheduled for a foreign tour in the Bahamas this week. Upon arriving at the airport, the team discovered that no flights, hotels, or games had been booked. The trip was subsequently canceled by the hosting company despite several boosters and donors already having arrived in the Bahamas. The foreign basketball tour that never was. Just kind of ties into the Fire Island thing.
Yeah.
Richard Sanders, our good friend, said this weekend is the 50th year reunion of the class of 74 for Griffin High.
Hey, all right. How about that?
Yeah. So congratulations, 50 years there, Rich. I'm assuming that's his reunion.
That's a long time.
Yeah. You're getting.
I'm kidding.
You said your last pep rally when we were talking to Coach Griffin was 25 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I may have fibbed a little.
I think you were off by maybe 3 years ish.
Probably.
Yeah. Because Monday, big birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sailors too.
We always had at the Griffin High pep rally, Ryan. I don't know if y'all ever had that one guy, but we had a guy named Billy. And Billy would roll. Everybody would chant, "Roll, Billy, roll," and Billy would come out on half court and he would, do his shoulders and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, he was the team mascot, but of course, he would get drugged, to the principal's office after. But you knew that.
Oh, he got in trouble for it?
Oh yeah,
No.
Yeah. It seems like in today's deal, I don't know, I could be off. I haven't been to a pep rally in forever, but yeah, you had to stay in the stands, but Billy would come to half court.
He had to give the people what they wanted.
I know. Billy was amazing.
What's Billy doing now?
Probably nothing good. I hate to
find out about Billy.
He's a dance instructor now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. What about you? Did you have any kind of crazy pep rally stories at all?
Not like Billy.
No.
Not like Billy.
Roll, Billy, roll.
No, I like that. That's good. We need to get Billy on the line. Still need to get your mom on the line. But
No,
we had pep rallies. It was exciting, but I don't remember anything. Nothing kind of sticks out like Billy rolling to that aspect. All right, here's another one. Well, before you get to your next one, this is basketball coach sinks 1,134 3-pointers in 1 hour to break world record. A high school basketball coach from Maine may have broken a Guinness Book of World Records by shooting 1,134 134 three-pointers in 1 hour. Ryan Martin, a coach at Lake Region High School in Naples and a former Mr. Maine basketball, sank 1,134 shots behind the three-point line during the 1 hour time limit. Martin bested the current Guinness Book of World Record holders of 1,077, which was set by Oregon man Daniel LaRoe in 2012. It's really just taking it one shot at a time and have confidence in yourself, knowing that you prepared to do it, Martin told WVII-TV. Martin is now waiting to hear back from the Guinness World Records to see if he officially took the title.
Very interesting.
Just like golf, right? Yeah. What do you think the record is for most, 5-footers sank in an hour for putting?
Oh,
because I feel like that's one you could take a shot at. Because, there's literally records for everything.
Yeah, there is.
So we'll look that up. I'm sure there's a record for it. We still got to find one for you to beat.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I take these things that I learn on the radio and obviously apply it to real life. I was around a bunch of kids yesterday, and I'm like, hey, does anybody know what the world record is in juggling of golf ball? And I let a few of them kind of guess, but we came to the conclusion that it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. And Michael Shear said that he could potentially do that. So I don't know.
I'm ready for one.
May have to block my schedule out for 3 hours and see if that can happen.
Well, you probably need to block it for longer because there's going to be some, if you don't start off good.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
you got to have some warm up and stretching and got to get your balls warm.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You do. Yeah, put them in the microwave.
Doesn't take much now. Yeah, it's true. They go further.
They do.
Now, did we figure out if it was actually juggling it or if it was just letting it sit on the face?
Or just, I thought, or juggling or sitting on the face, I guess.
The article wasn't super specific about that.
I feel like we sitting on the face, which, that's.
I would imagine your arm would probably start getting tired and start shaking a little bit, but there's ways to overcome that.
That's a long time.
But yeah, if they're doing three-pointers in an hour, there's got to be golf putts from an hour, football, soccer. There's got to be something.
There's got to be.
So we're going to find you one.
Yeah.
We're going to find you one. You got another one?
How about this hospital employee? Hospital employee made nearly $650,000 despite skipping work for 15 years. What in the world?
Interesting.
Southern Ireland, an employee at a hospital, not Southern Ireland, Southern Italy.
Okay.
Received 15 years worth of pay despite never showing up for work, police said. Salvatore Skoumas has been under investigation for forgery, aggravated extortion, and abuse of office. Italy's financial police, the Guardia di Finanza, said in a press release. Police alleged that Skoumas was a serial absentee. Serial absentee.
Well, she didn't show up, how many years?
15.
15?
Yeah, from his place of work in
asked any questions?
Catanzaro. So that's been going on since 2005. But yeah, $650,000, and he didn't even pick up a pinky.
Man.
How about that? Craziness.
I guess you can do that if you don't have to hit a time clock anymore. You just log in. My wife runs a hospital.
Yeah.
And all they got to do is log in.
Yep.
That way they can get access to the doors and the medicine cabinet and things like that. But they got to be logged in. Once you're logged in, who knows where you go?
Yeah.
So I could see that happening.
Don't get any ideas, Jay.
Right.
Jay's going, I'm going to call in from now on.
Well, he wasn't here yesterday, so we're neither here.
See, it's already starting. Yep. I warned you.
Yeah.
It's about $43,000 a year over the 15 years. Yeah. So, she's probably going to have to pay it back.
He's probably the same guy that looks at it and maybe taxes are, taking off a little bit, and he gets all mad about it.
Gets mad about his deductions.
His deductions. Yeah.
He's not even showed up. His health insurance. That just might be a little different in Italy. I got an animal one for you. Cat missing for a year turns up more than 600 miles from home. Not like the dog stories where the dogs come back to home. This cat was found 600 miles from home. A cat who is missing from her Ontario family turned up 1 year later more than 600 miles from home. The Oromako and area SPCA said on social media that a stray cat was brought in recently by a group of young people who had been feeding the loose feline for months in Fredericton, New Brunswick. We immediately scanned her to see if she had a microchip, and to our joy, the scanner beeped, the Post said. A phone call to the person in the the chip registered, told to be an amazing story. The cat named Birdie turned out to have vanished a year earlier from a home just outside of Ottawa, Ontario. What's the name of the hockey team in Ottawa?
Well,
the Shelter.
I don't know.
The Senators. The Shelter, this is how we get you to try to learn more, is I just throw random stuff at you. The Shelter said how Birdie came to be more than 600 miles from home is a complete mystery. Officials said Birdie will be given a ride home by a family planning an upcoming trip to Ottawa. Cats stay away, the dogs come back.
He needs to learn to chase his tail. He won't run away.
What if the... Very profound. What if he just runs away again?
Oh, Lord.
He could.
He's like, I don't want to be here. That's why I left in the first place.
Hey, I took your advice and watched a little bit about the Inside the Dogs.
Oh, yeah, on Netflix?
Oh, man.
That's pretty cool.
Phenomenal.
Pretty cool.
Phenomenal.
I learned stuff about dogs.
You know, it's so funny. Here's my take. Here's my only take.
Wait a minute. What, I missed that. What's the show?
It's on Netflix.
I'm kind of a dog lover.
Yeah,
I love it. Cat.
It just came out.
Will it make me cry?
No.
Usually dog stuff makes me cry.
there's no sad stuff in it.
Okay. There's no Lassie or
it's basically you're learning. It's a documentary, and you're learning all about the studies that all these researchers did. I forget where they were from, but how dogs think, why that. Yeah, I think it was Duke.
Yeah.
Duke's veterinary. Yeah, absolutely. Why dogs think, what their things mean. That's what I told David.
I know why they stink.
Yes, think why they think, what they do, and like they were even saying, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I said it on the air, it was either yesterday or the day before, that dogs actually can understand pointing, whereas chimpanzees and other of the primate family don't.
Right.
But yeah, I gotta look up the name of it. So what was your takeaway?
Well, my takeaway was, going back to thousands and thousands of years ago, and basically how man and dog have become like, one unit, right?
Yeah.
But back then it was like the man was out working, trying to get food, for the family, and the dog was his helper.
Yeah.
The dog worked.
Yeah.
Like that was part of and so now you fast forward to today and you kind of see, like, I'm sitting on my couch with my dog, and I'm thinking, Sailor, get to work, or, well, and grab me a cold drink.
Mine won't get off the air conditioning vent.
Yeah. Mine won't either.
Just lays there and looks at me like, you go to hell. I ain't moving.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think you were here when I said it. All dogs have 99.9% wolf DNA.
Yep.
And the other 0.1% is what makes them who they are. But yeah, back in the day, I mean, back in the day, I mean, dogs and wolves and humans, they didn't, and then all of a sudden the wolves just started to kind of be part of what the humans were doing, and lo and behold, they became, trained and workers, and they were all part of, the working, and that's why there's the working dogs, and you got all these different breeds of dogs because they were done for different reasons.
Right.
And here we are today. But it's called Inside the Mind of a Dog on Netflix. It's a great one. It just came out recently. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%, so that's pretty high.
That is pretty
high.
high.
Kind of stuff, but. Yeah, no, it's a really good one. It's a really good one. All right, I'll end on this one. It's very short and sweet. Man hooks up 444 video game consoles to a single TV. A dedicated gamer from Saudi Arabia earned a Guinness Book of World Records by hooking up 444 video game consoles to a single TV. Ibrahim Al Nasser, maybe it's the guy in charge of the PIF fund, of Riyadh, told Guinness Book of World Records he uses an Excel spreadsheet to track which of the switch boxes and converters he needs to play on each console. He said he set up the 444 consoles with more than 30 RCA switchers, more than 12 HDMI switchers, and various other modes of connections. After a while, I noticed I had a big stack of gaming consoles that I couldn't play, Al Nasser said. The TV ports are limited, and if I wanted to play, I could either unplug the existing console or I could keep everything and add more switchers and converters. By adding switchers and converters, the idea came to mind to connect all the gaming consoles I have to the TV and then contact the Guinness Book of World Records because this project is unique. He said the setup requires careful cable management. It goes on to quote him a few more times, but he's got pretty much everything you could possibly have.
That's crazy.
And another Guinness Book of World Records.
He's got a problem.
He does. But he's got a world record. That's for sure.
I wonder which one he plays. How he plays.
Yeah. And you could play one a day and it would take you more than a year, Jay.
With the the screen.
That's what I was.
Well, I think
2 inches of each game console on.
I think because he's got all these switchers and different ports and stuff like that, he goes in his spreadsheet and it tells him which port to switch to. So I think it's the entire thing.
Have a menu then.
Yeah, he's playing one at a time.
PS on this one and Wii on this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's got them all. 444.
Does he have NCAA football 25?
I hope so. All right, we got to take a quick break. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging, strike 3.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and very light rain, and a temperature of 93 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south-southwest. A mixture of partly cloudy skies and possible thunderstorms tonight, a gentle breeze, and warm near 78. Mostly sunny and 90 tomorrow. 90 and sunshine Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing is a combination that's hard to beat. With years and years of experience in vehicle repair, foreign and domestic, name brand tires, and fair prices have established Hewitt Tire and Auto as a leader that folks can call on again and again. And if you need a tow, call Hometown Towing at 850-265-1562. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing, an unbeatable combination. Airport Road, Panama City.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk. Tell me what you know.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to guess this, but I'm going to ask anyway. You know what sport gets back underway today after the Olympic break?
Sport today. It's not football.
No.
It is.
They didn't take a break from the Olympics for football.
Not basketball.
It is.
It is?
They did take an Olympic break, but it's not NBA basketball. What would that make it? WNBA basketball. And I was trying to look this up too, but I did hear that the women's basketball in the WNBA was actually down or WNBA in the Olympics was down, and I think they missed the opportunity there with Clark and Reese.
I watched that game.
I did too,
and it was what's that girl's name? Oh, she made a lot of foul shots. Of course, they all did. White girl,
Asia Wilson. No.
If you'll say that, she's beautiful.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't have it off the top of my head, but yeah,
she was kicking butt, taking name, and here's the thing that really got me, that impressed me the most, was when she walked up to make those foul shots, and I guess I watched her make 4 or 5 of them, or shoot 4 or 5 of them, and probably made at least 70%. Is she was smiling. She would stand there and you know, she wasn't all, you know, biting her lip and sweat coming off her brow. She would stand there and she would smile. And I thought, now this girl's got it going on, you know, to walk up under that kind of pressure, you know, I mean, because there was a 2-point lead, 3-point lead, 2-point lead, and 1-point deficit. And it went on and on and on like that. It was an incredible game.
Yeah, both. I mean,
you didn't watch it. You missed something. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And they were within about a half a foot of France tying that thing up at the end. That girl just was a smidge over the line. But the men's basketball team, their victory over France, which was a fantastic game, both the semifinal and the final game were both awesome, but was the most watched gold medal game in basketball since which Olympics, Jay? I'm pointing at you specifically.
Yeah.
That's a big context clue.
1996.
Yes, the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Absolutely. This is the most watched basketball game gold medal basketball game since the 1999 Olympics. It was up 82% from the Tokyo one. I believe the total viewership, the game peaked at 22.7 million viewers. Wow. That's getting up there past some of these college football numbers when it comes to that kind of stuff. But the women's basketball ratings, even though the game was fantastic, did not kind of have that same trend. And a lot of people bring that to, you know, the fact that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the ones that have really shot this huge lifeblood into, you know, not only the end of college basketball for them, but the WNBA. So obviously both of those players will most likely be on the next Olympic basketball team. That brings me to my point. The WNBA gets back underway tonight after the Olympic break there. But specifically, Caitlin Clark and the WNBA Fever, the Indiana Fever. Ticket sales, this is their mid-season growth numbers overall. So they've sold out 100% of their season ticket inventory. Their total attendance is up 264% from last year. 186,000 fans have attended a Fever home game. 230,000 fans have attended a Fever road game. Merchandise sales are up 1,193% in jersey sales. That's from last year to this year. Team store transactions are up 700% from 2023. They broke the franchise single game merchandise sales record for 4 different times.
Wow.
You think that's a lot? Let's keep going. Concession sales, hot dogs specifically, are up 300% from last year. 2,826 gallons of draft beer have been sold in 2024. That is up 740% from the previous year. Social media metrics, over 800 million views in the last 4 months alone for the Fever social media accounts. They added 1.3 million followers since April 15th. The Fever have more social media views than any other WNBA, NBA, NFL, or Major League Baseball team over the last 4 months. Now, a lot of those aren't actually playing right now, but you still have their social media accounts that are rocking and rolling. TV viewership, 38 games on national TV this year, most in the WNBA. They've set records for the most viewed WNBA games on ABC, ION, ESPN, and NBA TV. Corporate partnerships are up 225%. That's and they have the largest number of team sponsors in the WNBA.
Is there one specific thing that happened with Caitlin Clark that got her to this point? You know what I'm saying? It just makes me... why are we here?
Because it's the snowball. She was a fantastic player in college, and she brought a lot of attention because she's making all these threes, had these deep runs, and was just, you know, and that's how it takes. Once somebody gravitates to a player like that, it just, in this day and age, it just compounds and compounds.
What got her noticed? Is that you know?
Yeah, basically her
all
play.
All of a sudden, kaboom.
Yeah.
But how long did she didn't get there by playing bad before that? You know, she's obviously been a good player, but all of a sudden someone, somewhere, for some reason, took notice.
Yeah, well, I believe she played all 5. It's either 4 or 5 years at Iowa. But in her first couple years there, COVID, you know, you're not seeing as much. People couldn't go to games, and then post-COVID, the social media boom just went crazy with a lot of this stuff. And she was that person, bringing, you know, in her style of play, her attitude, but just her ability to shoot the ball and pass the ball.
I thought maybe she got a good agent.
That could be it too. I think it's just all it takes is one person, and you get a couple people that follow you. Your name gets mentioned here, and boom, everybody just gravitates towards it because that's how this day and age works with social media.
Kind of like a random girl walking in the streets of Nashville, and she says "Hawk Tua" or something, and then the next thing.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same situation because all it takes is one big account to share something, and then all these people, I got to go see who this is. I got to follow that, and boom, 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 and that carried over obviously to the WNBA. And her and Angel Reese are, but this was specific to Clark, but her and Angel Reese are certainly bringing the eyes to this sport, and it's awesome and it's great for the sport, and hopefully it continues up. But that brings me to the question: should Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have been on the USA basketball team? Simply, not necessarily for them to play and help them win the gold, because they haven't lost that was their 62nd or 61st or 62nd straight victory in women's basketball in the Olympics. But did Team USA and whatever miss an opportunity to really drive even more traffic to women's basketball, but on an international stage, given how successful they've been in college and WNBA?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that. I don't know why we're missing. What are we missing here? Why weren't they invited, or why didn't they?
Well, the coach kind of had an excuse early on, like the veterans, and she's only been in the league. She's just now in the league. She's a rookie, and then they said like 3 or 4 weeks later, hindsight, they're like, yeah, we probably should have had her on the team.
Why not divide and conquer? Let her go on and bring fame and fortune to the professional ball, and then let the next one that's coming up. Focus on that one. And then that one will go to, professional women's basketball and keep the thing kind of rolling that way. So why not divide and conquer?
Yeah.
Or do we put them on the same team and then they come back to America, and then all of a sudden that rivalry is no more? I don't know. I'm trying to think that.
I don't think that would have ever happened, because the rivalry will always be the rivalry, because even on the teams, they have rivals that play on the teams together. But I just think, and hindsight's always 20/20, but I think they certainly missed an opportunity there to potentially bring some eyes to international ball.
Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%.
No doubt. All right, Jay. I got some, we'll talk some college football stuff for you, all right? I want you to get ready for this. We did mention those games on October 12th early on, but according to the AP poll that came out this week, the preseason AP Top 25 poll, these are the biggest ranked games according to that poll. The first one on this list, you got Clemson versus Georgia. That's 1 versus 14. Any shot Clemson beats Georgia?
It'll be a good game. Maybe a touchdown or two, but Georgia comes out on top. Yeah, I would hope, but you never know. I mean, there's been a lot of this first game is you got a lot of jitters. You got some freshmen, some sophomores that probably didn't play last year. So
yeah, they did lose a bunch. All right, next on this one is number 4 Texas versus number 9 Michigan. That's gonna be a fun one.
That will be. That's week 1 or week 0.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know where they fall in the schedule.
We used to have our
Jim Brandt made that last year.
Yeah, that was so helpful.
I mean, the internet has the information too, but I've only got one screen.
Well, I'm trying to go without a laptop.
I see that. Michigan,
Texas. Let's go.
Texas lost their top 2 running backs, so they just lost another one earlier this week.
Yikes. I still think I'm still going to go Longhorns.
Yeah. Michigan lost a lot of players, their head coach, their quarterback. But yeah, Texas did too. But yeah, it'll be a great game. Next up, one you're looking forward to, Georgia and Alabama. Georgia at Alabama. I think that's a little bit later on in the season. We've done Georgia, we haven't done Alabama. Let's see, Georgia at Alabama. It looks like 1, 2, 3, week 4.
Is there a start time for that one yet? It doesn't say.
I'd have to look that up.
I bet it probably hasn't.
I don't know. They might be getting close to. Obviously, that's probably going to be a prime timer, but yeah.
Well, I feel like I can't remember if I gave Georgia 1 loss this year, and I can't remember if it was Alabama or Texas.
I can tell you.
Yeah,
I got it right
I can't
here.
remember. But
Jay gave Georgia loss at Alabama.
Okay, all right. There's my 1 loss. Tuscaloosa is just hard for Georgia. I mean, I know the last time we were in Tuscaloosa, we did figure out Georgia did win with a last minute field goal by our kicker Brandon Coutu. I do remember that one back in 2008. 07, 08. So that may be the last. No, they were there in 2019.
And they played several SEC championships against one another, too.
Well, but not in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Why does Georgia not play any other neutral site games other than in Atlanta? You ever think about that?
Never thought about that.
It's like a home game for them.
It is.
It's kind of BS.
Don't be hating right
but
now.
I mean,
I'm with you.
I get it. It's close. It's probably cheaper and all that, but it's always in what?
Mercedes-Benz. You're talking about that opening kickoff?
Yeah, which they don't. I don't think they do that one anymore. But anytime they would do that, it'd be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, going back
How far
to
is
that,
Athens from Atlanta? Hour and a half?
Probably.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Yeah, it is a home game. Going back to that, what can we look? You always look forward to that 3:30 SEC game.
That's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah, SEC's not on CBS anymore.
So what are we looking forward to? That or 2:30? I'm sorry,
2:30 our time. Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean
there won't be anything on CBS this fall.
Not SEC.
Okay.
I don't know who they're covering off the top of my head. But you were right about the Clemson-Georgia game. That is not week 0, but it is week 1. And that is the Aflac kickoff. Is that in Athens? Nope, that's in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
How about that?
Again.
Yep.
But,
home game.
But Clemson's not. Clemson coming down. What highway is that? Because Clemson's not that far.
85.
85. It's not that far from Atlanta either. So I'll give them that one. But yeah, the Georgia Alabama game is set for 6:30 on ABC on Saturday, the 28th of September. But that's gonna be weird watching Georgia Alabama on ABC and it not be a playoff game.
No kidding.
No, Warfern.
Do you remember after game day back in the day, you'd go to that Jefferson Pilot communications game at noon? Do you remember Jefferson Pilot? You don't remember that?
I grew up in New Jersey, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Don't
remember Jefferson Pilot.
Jefferson Pilot communications right after game day, noontime. It was typically an Ole Miss or it was an SEC game, but it wasn't your prime time SEC.
Well, hence it was on Jefferson Pilot.
Right.
Not typically. I've never even heard of Jefferson Pilot, so I can't really speak to that.
Damn Yankee.
Do you remember Smitty?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was probably a regional thing.
I was from Cincinnati back in those days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
okay. All right. A Southerner, help me out.
Yeah, I'm sure whoever's on the line is going to remember Jefferson Pilot. There's no doubt about it. Next one they got listed is Clemson at Florida State. Obviously, that is a huge ACC matchup. Ohio State and Oregon. That's on the 12th. That's definitely on the 12th. All right, we got a caller on the line. Who do we got out there?
We got LSU Jeff.
Jeff. Hopefully you're going to bail Jay out here with the Jefferson Pilot.
I absolutely am.
Yes. See? There we go. I'll let you guys take it.
Oh, yeah. No, Jefferson Pilot was like the show, and I can't remember the guy. Is it Danielson? Is that one of the announcers?
Gary Danielson?
Was he on Jefferson Pilot?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yep.
Yeah, back in the days.
Yep.
He was on there, and there was another guy. I can't remember his name was Chris or whatever, but yeah, that was a big thing, and we used to watch that every weekend. And I mean, that was across the South. I knew they did in Mississippi and Louisiana for sure.
Yeah.
So Jefferson Pilot is an insurance company or a financial company that was like they were the sponsor of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They were doing it, and that was the big game, man. We would watch that every week, and it didn't matter if LSU was playing. It was always Bama or Georgia, because this is before Arkansas and South Carolina joined the SEC. And then they probably stopped it in the late 90s, probably.
Yeah.
Jefferson Pilot does not still exist. They went defunct as of 2006. But they were one of the largest shareholder-owned insurance companies in the United States.
Huh.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about that?
Now, back to Georgia not playing neutral site. They play the Gators in Jacksonville every year.
That's true.
Hey, thank you,
true.
LSU, Jeff.
But that's also part of the rivalry specific with the Gators. But the kickoff, the kick, whatever they call it, it used to be the Chick-fil-A kickoff, all that stuff. It's always in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Georgia always plays in it.
Yeah.
Not always, but
well,
most of the time.
Oregon played Auburn in Dallas.
Yep.
And LSU played Texas and Houston? No.
You played Florida State in the Superdome last year, right?
Yeah, but that's a Sunday game. That's different. That's not the kickoff classic.
That is 100%
but they
true.
played, actually, 2 years ago it was in the Superdome. Last year was in Orlando in Camping World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where UCF
They played two neutral sites there, which is, I mean, that's really cool because, there's fans everywhere and you
Absolutely.
get people
going. But anyway, yeah.
Well, thanks for bailing out Jay on the Jefferson Pie, and I'm sure everybody else that is in our listening area that's been here knows
What's the number one hype game after that Ohio State Oregon?
It goes Ohio State. I don't think it's actually ranked or anything like that, but it's Ohio State, Oregon was the next one, and then it had I think it was Texas and Alabama. I got to pull it right back up real quick.
Georgia.
Or Texas, Georgia. Yeah, let's say they had Ohio State, Oregon, Texas at Georgia, 1-4, Missouri at Alabama, 11-5, Ohio State, Penn State, 2-8, Oregon and Michigan, 3-9, and then Georgia, another one, Georgia, because you guys have a great schedule. Very tough. Number 1 against number 6, Ole Miss. And then they also have Florida State at Notre Dame on there as well. And then Alabama at LSU. And that'll be a fun one, too. Just the list keeps going because it's just such a there's so many good games coming up this with the new realignment and everything. It's going to be fun. It is. No doubt about it. LSU Jeff, we got to take a quick break. Do you want to hang on?
Yeah, sure, I'll hang on.
All right, there we go. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Anyway, I found a clip that Glenn Manley might tell you a little something about it if you knew about it. I think he did because I was trying to break the world record of throwing an egg toss and catch. The fourth egg I threw was 304 feet. The world record was 350.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Those school bells are about to ring. Celebrate with a trip to Krispy Kreme and have a back-to-school Krispy Kreme celebration. Teachers have already returned, so stop by Krispy Kreme and pick up a dozen or 2 for that favorite teacher. Krispy Kreme with 2 locations in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Remember, get them hot this school year at Krispy Kreme.
Kickoff on the Plains is coming.
50-10, fire to the end zone. Touchdown, Peyton Ford.
Auburn football returns August 31st.
The kick is on the way. The season is underway.
Only on your home for the Tigers.
Auburn fans, we're bringing you every single game this season on the exclusive home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. He has over 10 items in the express lane. He pays with checks and he doesn't return his shopping carts.
You have ruined groceries for me.
Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive. ESPN Northwest Florida. Not sorry.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're talking about college football. And Jay, who are we the home of?
Auburn Tigers.
The Auburn Tigers right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Kickoff against Alabama A&M on August 31st. We're not only your destination for college football, but we are your destination for all of the Auburn Tiger football games. Jay?
Yes.
Got any questions for LSU Jeff while he's on the line? Or maybe he's got one for you.
I don't know. LSU Jeff, how many college football games have you attended, if you could throw a number out there?
Oh, my God.
A lot, it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's over 45.
Whew.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
Now, does that include attending as well?
No, I'm just talking straight up attending. No watching on TV. Watching on TV would be over 500.
No, I meant like,
or just go and tailgate.
If you were at like you were a student at the college. Does that include?
Oh no, when I was a student, I probably went to about maybe 18 games.
Okay, so that's a combination
And then-
between student and
Gotcha.
afterwards.
Yeah. Because back in the 80s, what happened was my dad, I did not know, but I was born in the 70s, and my dad had Saints season tickets. And they used to play at Tulane Stadium, and then he switched over to the new Superdome, and he gave up on the Saints. And he started getting, in the 80s, when LSU started getting good with Arnsberger as the coach, he started getting LSU season tickets. And so that was our tradition thing, driving 75 miles to Baton Rouge, going to a game, and it was insane. So I was there for the Earthquake game against Auburn.
Nice.
And
explain
that was...
one.
That was the one.
Yeah. All right, I'll let LSU Jeff tell.
So Tommy Hodgson, he was trailing 6-0. He was like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and he threw a touchdown pass with like 4 seconds left or something like that.
Yep.
And the Geology building, which is like a block away, registered like a 6.8 on the Richter scale.
Wow.
From the vibrations from the crowd. And so they call it the Earthquake game, and we won 7-6. And Auburn was really good at that time. I think Bo Jackson had just left, and they were definitely a great team, which they hadn't been previously before Bo Jackson. Yeah.
That was that one. And I told you to watch that, the SEC Story Saturday Night Lights. It features that game in that story as well. But yeah, no, I mean, and that's still one of the topics nowadays with the seismometers that always pick up when crazy stuff happens in Death Valley.
Yeah.
I'd say the second biggest game it was Auburn again. I was a student. It was like 93 or 92. Jamie Howard was our quarterback. I don't know if we had like a 20-point lead on Auburn, and we kept on throwing in the fourth quarter, and Jamie Howard threw 4 interceptions in the fourth quarter, and we lost the game. And so they call it I think they call it the Jamie Howard game.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
And his son is the backup quarterback at Ole Miss right now, Walker Howard.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's interesting. But I mean,
he's dating Lane Kiffin's daughter.
That's the one. Huh.
Yep.
That is funny. That is funny. Man, that's full circle. But it's funny how you remember really good wins, and it's funny how you remember brutal losses, too, just as equally. Like, they just burn that in your brain.
But I think the biggest game I've ever been, I went to the national championship in '93. Alabama upset the Miami Hurricanes. Hurricanes had Gino Torretta, the Heisman Trophy winner, and Bama had George Teague, got a couple of interceptions. And the Miami Hurricanes were defending national champs. They were supposed to walk in there and just win the game, and Alabama beat them pretty good.
Dang.
Yeah, wow.
Man, you've been to a lot.
So that's the biggest game I've ever been to, football.
Do you still go to games pretty regularly now?
Yeah, I went to 2 games this past year. I went to LSU, Alabama, and Tuscaloosa.
Nice.
And we lost by 2 touchdowns. We were hanging in there a little first half, but the third quarter kind of got away from us a little bit, and then we tried to come back, but it didn't happen. And then I went to the 54-49 loss to Ole Miss in Oxford.
Man, that was a heck of a game.
So LSU lost 3 games last year, and I saw 2 of them.
Common denominator.
I know, and I'm usually a good luck charm, but that definitely didn't happen this past year.
Are you going to any this year you got lined up yet?
Well, my daughter's at Ole Miss, and so I make a decision to go to one Ole Miss game every year, and I don't know which game I'm going to, but I'm dating a girl, and we're going to go to a Florida State game. We're going to go to the Tar Heels game.
Oh, nice.
North Carolina Tar Heels. And it's late enough in the season where it's not going to be burning hot. And it's just, it's not the game because they're playing Clemson at home. I think that's the game to get in Tallahassee right now.
No doubt. But I mean,
that's a hot ticket.
That's the tough thing about going to some of these early games in the first couple of weeks is it's still summer and it's just brutal. Absolutely.
Well, we're talking about the 2:30 kickoff, and to be honest with you, in the South,
that's peak of heat.
Yeah.
It's scorching. It's bad. And that's why I love LSU, because we not only start games at 7, but a lot of them will start 6 p.m., and that's perfect because, like, the sun's starting to go down, and as long as it's not November, it's not cold.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
When you hear about that LSU, like, being so crazy on a Saturday night, I mean, does the LSU fans just get to drinking a little bit sooner than most of the SEC? Like,
well, let me tell you, the New Orleans people who aren't going to they don't get hotel rooms in Baton Rouge because it's too close of a drive.
Yeah.
They absolutely loathe and completely hate 11 o'clock kickoff games. And we were playing Tennessee 2 years ago at home, and it was 11 o'clock kickoff. And it's like they can't even get drunk by 11 o'clock.
Right. Takes a lot.
So they wake up at 7. They would have to wake up at 7, drive up there, get there at 8:30, start drinking. Before you know it, they're entering the stadium half sober.
Yeah,
and
can't be
they're not screaming their heads off. They're not all hyped for the game. There's barely a tailgate. They hate 11 o'clock.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Makes sense. Yeah. It perfectly makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't have and I think that's why a lot of fan bases don't prefer the 11 o'clock kickoff game. Mm-hmm. If that's one of your, things of the whole experience, to make sure your energy is high and getting on the Richter scale. Did you give any thought to heading out there to Las Vegas for the opening game against USC?
So this is what happened. We had all of our group of friends from LSU, and they live in St. Louis, Springfield, Missouri, Honolulu, Phoenix, Huntsville, and New Orleans. And then I'm here. And we're all going, and then the first one dropped out from St. Louis, and then that didn't bother anybody. But as soon as the guy from Honolulu dropped out of going, that just dropped everybody out. So we were going, and we were thinking we're going to have, like, hangover movie type party, and it just didn't happen. So we're just dropping out now, and so it doesn't look like I'm going to Vegas now.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, cool that they was there for a second, because I want to get out there just to see that stadium. I would love to see obviously a Niners game play the Raiders, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon on the schedule. But yeah, it's cool to see all these big games coming to Vegas. That's for sure. Because and it's so funny. We flipped this script, especially with the NFL. Anti-betting. They move a franchise to the Mecca, the home of sports betting, and now ESPN Bet has its own platform. It's just so funny. When it's convenient, you flip the switch.
Yeah, like paying players.
Yeah, 100%. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Reggie Bush, was looked down upon, and all these other players, Maurice Colorette or whoever.
Yeah.
And now look what we're doing. It's acceptable, and Pete Rose, who knows? Maybe he gets into the Hall of Fame because betting is legal now, and it's not frowned upon as much.
Yeah. Definitely.
What's your favorite Cajun food? I've got to ask every LSU fan that I come in contact with your favorite.
My mom grew up on the Gulf, and even though I love shrimp, I'm going to have to go with
crawfish.
No, a good grilled fish.
I love crawfish.
With a nice cream sauce on top. Ooh. And that's probably my go-to. Of course, I love like a good fried seafood platter, but I'm not as big on jambalaya. Red beans and rice is okay. Gumbo is incredible, but seafood gumbo. I'd much rather seafood gumbo over chicken and sausage.
Yeah.
And then let me think about what else.
What about dessert? What about your favorite Cajun dessert? Or New Orleans dessert?
They have desserts?
Well, New Orleans does.
You have something to put out the fire after you eat all that stuff.
Beignets, bread pudding. Come on, Jay.
Okay.
Get with the program.
I'm from Georgia. So.
Yeah.
We know.
Number one in my book is, number two is bread pudding without raisins. And number one is Bananas Foster.
Oh, yeah.
Freshly made right there at your table is like
fired up.
It's like a wow. It just melts in your mouth. It's so good.
I'm assuming you have not had Bananas Foster, Jay.
I haven't.
That's a new one on me.
Really?
Too.
I've heard of it, but I've never had it, and I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how, but my dad was a big Bananas Foster guy. He's been all over the place, but so in turn, I love it too.
Jeff, we're located at 204 East.
Well, I thought about bringing back some king cakes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of king cakes, I think of the Super Bowl because it's just that same time of year.
Right.
Oh, yeah, usually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and those people that say that you can't eat king cake if it's not Mardi Gras season, that's bull.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's just like people that tell me I can't wear white after Labor Day. I wear white after Labor Day all the time.
Yeah.
Everything's fine in my life. Kind of.
Or eat oysters with the month ends in the letter R. Like, come on. 365 days a year.
I mean, if you're in Chicago or something like that, maybe a different story.
Right.
But down here.
Yeah, and that's where I'm unusual. I'm not too much into crawfish, and I don't eat my oysters raw. I'll eat them any which way but raw.
Shame on you. Shame.
I think it's a texture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I can see that. I'm a big fan of oysters regardless, but go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, another topic.
We got about 2 minutes.
Most overrated college football team, and I'm going with the Missouri Tigers.
This season coming up?
Yep.
Ooh.
Oregon.
Ooh.
Oregon?
I think I disagree with both of those. Ooh, that's a good question. Jay, you take it first.
Oh, man. I don't know. Now that you're saying that those two running backs for Texas are out,
but that's not like, I don't think that makes them overrated. That's the reality.
I got you.
I'll say Michigan. That's what I'm going to say, simply because of how much they've lost year from last year to this year, and still being ranked inside the top 10.
Yeah.
Oregon, interesting. I think the Ducks got a big shove. I've got the Ducks winning the Big Ten and going to the national championship. I think Dylan Gabriel's the real deal.
Wow.
They still got.
I'm gonna have to disagree on Oregon because the quarterback Dylan Gabriel has been around. He knows a lot, and then I think he's just going to slide right in there instead of Nix. I think they lost a wide receiver, and that's about it. And they have seen coach Dan Lanning.
They lost a good running back too, and obviously they had Nix for the last 3 years. So it's time to usher in the Dylan Gabriel era. But Jeff, we're coming up against our hard end of the show break. We appreciate you giving us a call and diving into a little bit of your history there in college football.
All right, thanks. Take it easy, guys.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow for Fun Friday and Jay's Guitar.
To go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back.
Wide open down the sideline.
ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long with David Hayes.